Hi there, my name is Sarah Nickerson. I'm a psychic medium intuitive. I found this out 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Keeps going. And with that, I didn't know that that was something I could do. And I believe that we're all capable of doing this. And from my experience, it was what it is that you kind of focus on, where in your head you kind of go, and looking at things differently as to how you take in information. We get so used to living our lives in a certain way, understanding the world as we're told to believe. And I think with uncovering and discovering your psychic, intuitive mediumship abilities, that this allows you to see those supernatural things that actually, I believe, aren't supernatural and are a part of skills of a human being. So we're going to go to Reddit, something I do with my vlog, and we're going to see what kind of questions are out there. We're going to go to the subreddit of psychic. I have two missions, by the way. One is for you to have that possibility that you too are psychic or medium or intuitive. All of these I call soul abilities, even healing. And I believe everybody is capable of doing these things. I believe it. And my other mission is to give my 2 cents, give my experience, give my thoughts. I do that through my podcast, Next Gen Medium Podcast, through my website at nextgenmedium.com. I have a blog, and I have also a members area that's a little more intense for those that are looking to really get into using their abilities, finding them. I want to bring you to that precipice where you are opening the door and seeing these things for yourself. That's the only way that it becomes real, is when it's your own experience. So these are my missions. These are my goals. I like to go to Reddit and see what kind of questions people have, and that way I can work on one of my missions, which is to give my understanding from my experiences. And maybe it's something that clicks with you in your experience. Maybe something you've never put into words, but something that resonates with you in your experience. All right, today's question. I think I may be a little psychic. So I have had a few weird events throughout my life that I've always thought were coincidences. Like, I will think of a very specific episode of The Simpsons, and a few days later it will come on the TV. And I will remember the thought. These thoughts have nothing that stands out with them. They just pop into my head like any other thought and don't stand out in any way. Recently, my mother was put into the hospital, and the very same night when I was at work, I just thought, Mom in hospital. Again, I thought it was just a super weird thought and didn't do anything. It was only until I finished work that I realized what happened. By the way, she's fine now, for anyone wondering. Does anyone know if this is a huge coincidence or if I might be psychic? So there's a couple of things here. One is, yes, I believe you are psychic. I believe everybody is psychic. The good thing for you is that you're noticing these things happening. You are in that mainstream thinking of that's just a coincidence. Another way to look at it is synchronicities. Synchronicities are coincidences with purpose. So it's a different way of looking at these strange happenings occurring and seeing them as there's something more than just random things happening. There's something behind it being a message, or the information you're connecting with, there's something else going on. Okay, so yes, you are psychic. It's interesting how you describe that these are thoughts that just pop up. There's nothing that really stands out about them. I would assign that as an ability of claircognizance, just knowing. I do have a belief that claircognizance works with your soul senses, your clairs. These are ways that you interpret the soul world or that external information that's flowing from somewhere. It's coming from something. And it's a way that we pick up that world. The way we do that in the physical world is with our senses, our physical senses, like touch and taste and sight. With the soul world, soul energy, we take it in with our clairs or our soul senses. Claircognizance is one of them. My understanding of claircognizance as I move further into my journey is that it seems like it's information that's just dumped into your head, like a download. Boom, it's right there. I do wonder if it is taken in through a clair, but it's just processed so quickly that you can't recognize where it's coming from. So that's something to consider. That's splitting hairs. But that's exactly what claircognizance is like. It's just boop, it appears, and it seems to go along with the other thoughts, boop, boop, that pop in your head. So I am curious if you pay more attention to the thoughts that just boop, pop in your head, what kind of conclusions you can draw with the other information that comes through. And one of the things that's common that you're going to do is ignore stuff because it seems like that's just because I was thinking about blah blah blah, and so this came up in my head, or I was watching this thing and then this thing happened, so it was already top of mind. There is something to be said about the very, 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 very subtle coincidences or synchronicities we experience, but it does give you a spectrum to go off of when it comes to those bigger kind of coincidences that happen. I'm a big believer that it's the reaction you have, that energy that is tipped off when these things occur, that is the key to understanding many, many, many things. A lot of things are based on initial emotion. And it's up to you. I feel like I'm talking and very philosophically here, but it's up to you to discern, to be logical with it. But I think there's a part of you that has to give in to a little bit of that, my imagination stuff, because that imagination place is actually where a lot of information comes from. And we just discredit it because that's my imagination. That's what we're told all our lives. It's just the imagination. There's a lot of validity to the imagination. And we actually live a life of the imagination through living our lives paved with fear. There's a lot of things you don't do because of the things you're afraid of. You're afraid that you're going to be embarrassed by something, that people are going to judge you. This is living in that place of imagination. This is your reality that's come to be. Are people actually going to make fun of you? Is this fear actually rational? Probably not. People are much more forgiving than we allow them to be. And then on the other hand, who gives a crap what other people think, right? We do. We care. And that's part of your journey, is establishing what's worth my priority and time and what can be let go. And once you let go of a lot of the fear stuff and recognize what it is and start seeing it happen in real life, that's when the stuff of the imagination becomes much more of connecting with that ethereal energy where information's coming from, as well as manifesting the good stuff. Okay, does anyone know if it's a huge coincidence or if I might be psychic? You're psychic. There. Find out more. Go to my website, nextgenmedium.com. Check out my podcast. My podcast is specifically set up, especially with those beginning episodes, to kind of roll you in, to introduce you to this stuff, but also open you up to the fact that A lot of people think they are psychic. 1 in 3 people, according to one survey from YouGov.com, 1 in 3 people believe they've had a psychic experience, and you are one of those 1 in 3 people. 1 in 3. That's a lot more than you realize. But think of how many of those 1 in 3 people actually want to find the truth. That's what this is all about, the truth. So, Next Gen Medium podcast, please subscribe to this. I like to do these videos once a week, but I try to put out 2, maybe more, for the week. So this stuff is to kind of open you up to the concepts, the bare bone foundational things. Sometimes I get a little theoretical, but I try to stay away from sort of my theoretics and more of my truth. So more of the foundational things that I think can help everybody across the board. Not a lot of angel talk, not a lot of crystal stuff or divination. I want to get bare bones, like to the facts of the theory. So please subscribe. Check out my podcast, Next Gen Medium podcast, available anywhere. Spotify is the most popular, so I'm going to say Spotify. Also, my website, nextgenmedium.com. I think I said that. I'm on socials too, but I suck with socials. Go to my website and send me a message or anything if you have a question too. All right, I hope that helps you out. And send me a question if you have one. That's it.